let's get this started. So Alma Helaman Hale is my third great-grandfather. He was born in 1836 in Bradford, Essex, Massachusetts. This was 2 years after his father, Jonathan Harriman Hale, and his mother, Olive Boynton Hale, had met the Mormon missionaries and decided to be baptized. His father, Jonathan Harriman Hale, would become an influential member of the church, serving many missions, including a campaign mission for the prophet Joseph when he ran for president in 1844. He would move his family to join the Saints in Nauvoo in 1841, where he was the 9th Bishop of Nauvoo and a colonel in the Nauvoo Legion. This is where Alma and his siblings got to know the prophet Joseph Smith, as well as Heber C. Kimball and other prominent church leaders. Getting to research this time of my ancestors' lives was especially meaningful to me because I got to catch a glimpse of Joseph Smith's character through the eyes of my ancestors, Alma and his brothers. Alma and his brothers have many stories of having the prophet in their home for church meetings and the fondness that they had for him. One story communicates this. Solomon Hale, Alma's younger brother, recounted the following during a priesthood meeting in Boise. My first distinct remembrance of the prophet Joseph Smith was on the occasion of one of his visits to our home in Nauvoo, where my father was bishop. I was just nearing my 4th birthday, and he heard me complain about having only one name, while each of my brothers had two, and he asked me what additional name I desired. I told him I wanted the name of Henry, after my uncle Henry Harriman. He said, "All right, Solly, my boy, you shall have it." And he had me sit on the little stool in front of him, and he laid his hands upon my head and confirmed upon me the additional name of Henry. I can only imagine the hurt and the sorrow that those 4 children must have felt when they heard of the prophet's death in Carthagena in 1844. By 1846, the Hale family had moved with most of the saints to Council Bluffs, Iowa, to escape persecution in Nauvoo. The saints had left their well-established homes and farms in Nauvoo for tents and log cabins. Because of poor water and other conditions, there were many saints who contracted the chills and fever and became sick. Bishop Hale would be one of them. He had broken his leg in the trek to Council Bluffs, and the combined toll of his church duties and sickness caused him to lie down to rest, only to never rise again. Jonathan Harriman Hale died September 4th, 1846. Solomon described the last moments of his father's life. He was so worn out that he had to take to his bed, and soon he was dead. Mother and all the children except the 2 little girls were at his bedside when he passed away. He bade us goodbye and gave us his blessing and said, "Stand by the faith and continue on with Brother Brigham and Brother Heber to the Rocky Mountains. It is God's work, and we must not fail. Do not be persuaded to turn back, even though our relatives insist upon it. Go with the church, and God will bless and preserve you." That's from his journal. Olive would soon follow, along with the 2 little girls, Olive Susan, then only 2.5 years old, and baby Clarissa Martha, who had only been born 22 days prior. Father, mother, and 2 sisters had all been lost in 14 days, and all that remained of the Hale family were 4 orphans: Arrowet, age 18, Rachel, age 17, Alma, age 10, and Solomon, age 7. It was during this period that I took my inspiration. I painted the 4 orphan siblings, deciding to continue to stay true to the faith as their parents had wished on their deathbeds. Because of that decision, many lives would be touched. The 3 brothers would serve in countless church callings, serving as bishops and stake presidents. Ultimately, all 3 brothers would be called to serve as patriarchs, but all this was eclipsed by the great work that was done for the dead in the Logan Temple near where the brothers lived. After countless miracles and 13 years of temple ordinances, the Hale family would perform 1,075 endowments, 1,202 sealings of couples, 2,055 baptisms, and 319 children sealed to 55 sets of parents. It was the largest work done for the dead by any one family in the church at that point in the church's history. Upon the completion of their record of sealings and husbands to wives and children to parents, in the early evening of the 28th of February in 1896, a strange phenomenon was reported. The sacred structure, it is said, became suddenly illuminated, flooded from dome to foundation with a blaze of light. Apostle Mariner W. Merrill, who was then president of the temple, observed the phenomenon as he was traveling on the highway that night from Logan to Richmond. It was likewise observed by many residents of Logan. Because of my ancestors' faith in Christ, myself and many other descendants enjoy all the blessings of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and many souls have been brought to God through missionary work in the world, as well as on the other side of the veil. It is those who came before me that I have credit of my blessings, and it is to those that will come after that I pledge my love and labor. We who prepare the way for our children that in turn will pave the way for many more of our brothers and sisters to return to live with our Father in heaven. I am thankful to God for the choice that those four children made to have faith in Christ, and I would choose to emulate that same faith in my daily life.